Today I am going to walk you through a specific stack of powerful video tools that legitimately save you hours of manual labor when you are putting together your content library. I also want to give a quick shout out to my friends over at Envato Elements for supporting this video because their massive asset library is honestly wild. If you want to check them out, there is a link down below that gets you a huge discount on your first month. But for now, let us jump straight into the workflow. First up, we need to address those incredibly picky visual fixes that usually take way too much time in traditional editing software. RunwayML is one of those browser-based tools that genuinely feels like magic because it puts AI-powered brushes right into your creative process. With just 2 or 3 simple clicks, you can remove annoying background objects, rotoscope a subject out, or even apply a highly stylized color grade using text prompts. Removing a random boat in the background used to take a messy, time-consuming workflow in After Effects, but now you just paint over it and the AI fills in the pixels. It is exactly the same deal when you have people walking into your frame. You just brush, lift, and let the AI instantly fill in the gap. The background removal and green screen tools in these newer platforms are absolute game changers for your overall productivity. Instead of spending forever refining a roto mask frame by frame, you just click the subject, let the AI detect the edges, and it creates a perfect mask for you. You can quickly refine the edges with a brush if you need to, but the speed compared to traditional methods is simply unmatched. Since it is a project-based editor, you can stack your mask subject over new backgrounds, drop text behind them, and animate that text instantly. For creative projects like putting kinetic text behind a runner or building layered social media posts, this specific workflow is absolute gold. Runway also features a really impressive text-to-color grade tool that lets you type a prompt to apply a specific cinematic mood to your footage. While it is not always perfect, it definitely nails mood-based color direction way faster than I could ever dial those scopes in manually. You can export the graded clip straight from the browser, which is a fantastic way to quickly prototype a cinematic vibe before you commit to it in your main editor. However, these tools are built for specific tasks like pixel removal or color ideas, but they are not really designed to handle your entire creator pipeline. That is where a tool like Vizard comes in, because its core mission is taking your long-form content and automatically finding the moments that will perform as short clips. It is not trying to replace complex compositing or audio cleanup. It is trying to get you from a long raw recording to a stack of viral-ready clips in minutes. In practice, I will use Runway for the heavy lifting, like removing a garbage truck that rolled by during a take, or rotoscoping a subject for a special effect. Then, I hand those cleaned, polished clips over to Vizard to do the work of auto-detecting highlights and snipping them into shareable vertical reels. It even provides multiple caption variations and thumbnail suggestions, effectively acting like an editing assistant that already understands social media norms. Next up, we need to talk about removing dead air, because if you do a lot of talking head interviews, you know how much time gets eaten by cutting out silences. TimeBolt is absolutely awesome for this exact job, as you just drop your footage in and it instantly detects low decibel sections to highlight the gaps. You can tune the sensitivity or add padding so your edits do not feel too abrupt, and then export it directly into your preferred editing software. I use TimeBolt to pre-trim my interviews and monologues before I start the real polishing, and it saves me absolutely precious time every single day. But just like the other tools, TimeBolt is narrow in its focus. It removes dead air, but doesn't optimize clips for different social platforms. That is another gap Vizard fills, because after TimeBolt cleans the interview, Vizard can analyze that timeline and pick the most emotionally compelling bites. It then formats those clips for different aspect ratios and can even auto-schedule them across your social platforms using its built-in content calendar. Now let us talk about audio, because sometimes you need to isolate vocals from music or clean up hum and environmental hiss from your recordings. LALAL.ai is my quick go-to for stem separation, where you upload a file and it spits out isolated vocals and instrumental stems for you to use. That is huge when you need to remove a copyrighted track from a stream, or when you just want to reduce a noisy soundtrack to avoid a copyright strike. There are other services like Adobe Podcast that do amazing voice enhancement, but they can sometimes make speakers sound a little bit too artificially polished. LALAL.ai tends to preserve the voice more authentically in many cases, but the important point is to just use the right tool for the right problem. Do not sleep on asset libraries either, because this entire video would not look half as clean without stock footage, music, and motion templates. That is exactly where Envato Elements shines, providing everything from stock clips to presentation slides that are lifesavers when you are on a tight deadline. To pull this all together, here's my realistic workflow. I record the long-form content, run it through TimeBolt to strip the dead air, and then pull it into Vizard. If a specific clip needs pixel surgery or background replacement, I export that to Runway, do the work, and bring it back to finish the edit. Finally, I use Envato Elements for music beds and sound effects, and use LALAL.ai or Adobe Podcast if the audio requires any serious cleanup or stem separation. The real takeaway here is that each tool has a specific sweet spot, but Vizard acts as the glue that keeps the whole pipeline moving. You can then publish consistently without constantly babysitting your queue or manually exporting a dozen different file versions. I want to highlight Vizard's auto-schedule feature specifically because being able to queue clips and tweak them from a single calendar view is a huge game changer. It does not just chop your video by loud noises, it actually scans for engaging moments and outputs several variations so you can A/B test your hooks. If you are curious to try this stack, just start simple. Trim with TimeBolt, put the cleaned files into Vizard, and fix only the hardest shots in Runway. I would love to hear which of these tools you are most hyped about, or if you prefer sticking to your classic editing software for everything. Drop your experience in the comments below because I'm always on the lookout for new shortcuts to speed up my editing workflow. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more workflow breakdowns, and check the description for the tool links and the Envato deal. All right, I have got to get back to editing, so keep creating, and I will see you in the next one.